What is good, defenders? It is 24 hours before the match, so you know what that means. It's time for one more sleep. And yes, this is League's Cup round of 32 edition. This is exciting times because now we feel a little bit closer to a trophy here mid-season, and trophies, as you know, equal Champions League spots. What is good? Everybody in the chat, hello, hello. It's the Scarf, J.R. Liebert. You guys all know this. If you don't know by now, Philly is in Europe. Rough life that he is living. He'll be in London. He'll be in Germany. I think he's actually heading to Paris after the Olympics get out of there. So it's going to be a rough couple of weeks for Philly over there in Europe, trying to adjust to that lifestyle over there. I will be right here with all of you, and it is time to talk League's Cup round of 32 edition, and that means Austin is coming to BMO Stadium. Austin, who won their group, gets to travel on the road to LAFC, who finished second in their group. Makes perfect sense to Don Garber, so I guess it should make perfect sense to all of us. Now, before we talk about League's Cup, let's address 1, 2, 3 elephants in the room. First and foremost, Mikey, you are welcome about that question. Speaking of Olivier Giroud, first and foremost, Olivier Giroud, as I was told directly, is, as of right now, from what I understand, not yet match fit. So I do not believe we will see Olivier Giroud in the 18 tomorrow. I was told to give him about a week, which could mean the round of 16 matchup. And we'll talk about who that round of 16 matchup could be after we go through Austin. So I have heard, this is on pretty good authority, but you know what? Olivier could wake up tomorrow and decide, you know what, guys, I'm good enough to give you 10, 15 minutes at the end if you need a goal, whatever it might be. So who knows? Who knows? I'm putting that little asterisk on there with this information that I give you, because Olivier Giroud is a massive human who is capable of great things, and it wouldn't surprise me if he said, you know what, go ahead and put that number 9 kid on me, and we'll see what happens for these last 15 minutes. But from what I have heard, he is not yet match fit. I was told give him about a week. Okay, that's number one. Number two, let's talk about Lewis O'Brien, the midfielder. What I was also told about Lewis O'Brien is that Lewis O'Brien is still working on visa and paperwork issues. So it's very possible that we also will not see Lewis O'Brien. I was told he was match fit, but that he has not yet finished his visa or paperwork issues. So if we're looking for depth there, not sure when we'll see Lewis O'Brien in a match. And I haven't checked, and I apologize. I was supposed to check before I went on here just in case for Timothy Tillman's availability. I do not know Timothy Tillman's availability right now. If anybody out there in the chat wants to hit me up and tell me what Timothy Tillman's availability is, that's on me. That's my bad. I should have done it, but I didn't do it. So either way, Giroud, likely no, although all of his paperwork is in order. I was just told again, he wasn't match fit. Lewis O'Brien, we're dealing with visa issues, so not yet ready to go on that either. But the third and most important one, Antoine Griezmann. Yes, Antoine Griezmann. Let's talk about Antoine for a second. Tom Bogert reported it, so I feel comfortable talking about it. Antoine Griezmann in talks with LAFC. Now, what does that mean? What that could mean is that they're working out when they will bring him over. As we know with what happened with Olivier Giroud, John Thorrington worked it out so that, okay, the window we wanted to bring him over wasn't the window we could bring him over. So we had to wait 6 months, and we brought Olivier over in this window. It could be that they're discussing that maybe after next season at Atletico, that maybe he comes over. It could be that before the August 14th window closes here, before August 14th, we could have Antoine Griezmann. I don't know. The rumor was out there that we are looking to make Antoine Griezmann the second highest paid player in MLS, obviously behind one Lionel Messi. So if that happens, if the money is right, if the timing is right, That's where we're at with Antoine Griezmann. So, for me, it's all about being hopeful and optimistic, but also being realistic at the same time. He did score 24 goals last year for a top flight club in Europe. 24 goals for a top flight club in Europe likely means we're still not seeing Antoine anytime soon. But that being said, stranger things have happened. Gareth Bale came over out of nowhere, Giorgio Chiellini, but those two players were not of the caliber that Antoine Griezmann still was in Europe. Now, Giorgio quickly became the best center back in MLS. Gareth Bale scored the most important goal in LAFC history. But Antoine Griezmann, what we know, they're in talks. Something could happen before the 14th. And again, if you guys are asking about Olivier Giroud, you'll have to watch this from the beginning because I just talked about Olivier a whole bunch. I do not expect him to be available tomorrow. So now that we've talked about all those players, let's get back to the match at hand. Austin coming to BMO Stadium, even though they won their group and we finished second in our group. Somehow we are hosting Austin. It's based on like seedings from last year. It's a whole thing. It's real dumb. Don Garber likes it, so we're supposed to like it too. Let's talk about Austin. And let's talk about Austin in the context of Leagues Cup. In the context of Leagues Cup, Austin's been really, really good, at least above the numbers. What do I mean about that? I'll tell you in a second. But you cannot deny that Austin beating two Liga MX teams, Pumas 3-2 and Monterrey 2-0. That's kind of an eye-opening result right there. Austin going 2-0 in their group and being one of the very few groups, if not the only group, I have to go back and look, that had two Liga MX teams in it and just one MLS team. That is a solid showing from Austin, no matter how you slice it, going 2-0 and it being Pumas 3-2 and Monterrey 2-0. That is a solid group stage performance in the 2024 Leagues Cup. So Austin coming in pretty solidly. And let's talk about that match against Pumas for Austin real quick. They went down a man, Austin did, in the 34th minute. Now, they were up 1-0 when they went down a man, and then they scored a goal after they had 10 men to go up 2-0, and they wound up having to hold on 3-2. But either way, scoring 2 goals down a man against Pumas after losing your man in the 34th minute. An hour is a long time to play down a man. Alexander Ring, Jossie Zardes, Sebastian Driussi. Those were your 3 goal scorers. We all know Jossie. We all know Driussi. And you know what? If you follow MLS, Alexander Ring has been in this league for forever. Those are 3 veteran players. They got veteran performances out of their veteran players. But if you go a little bit below the numbers, you see that over the course of the 90-plus minutes, now, you could chalk this up to being down a man, but wait, there's more. 6 shots total over 90 minutes for Austin. 4 of those 6 on target and just 26% possession. Austin had 26% possession. Now, a lot of you are saying right now, okay, Scarf, that makes sense. They were down a man for an hour. Of course, they're only going to get 4 shots on target. Well, they put 3 of those 4 behind the keeper, so they're clearly doing something with the limited opportunities they have. They only generated 6 shots over the whole match and 26% possession. So let's look then at what happened against Monterrey. Monterrey, they had their full 11-man complement for the entire 90 minutes of the match. They beat them 2-0 with goals by Obrian and Daniel Pereira, which, by the way, means that all 5 of their goals in Leagues Cup have been scored by 5 different players. That's pretty solid. That's a good variety there. You can't just close out on, let's say, a Sebastian Driussi and hope for the best. They got 4 other guys who scored a goal. But let's take a look at what happened over the course of 90 minutes in this match. 5 shots total for 90 minutes. All 5 on target. So again, quality chances because 2 got past the keeper. 25% possession. 25% possession over the course of 90 minutes against Monterrey, and they're winning 2-0. Monterrey, we all know how good Monterrey was. They ended our Leagues Cup last year. We all know how good Monterrey is. So for Austin to be winning games with 26 and 25% possession, with only generating 4 and 5 shots on target against two very good Liga MX sides, especially Monterrey, is something that we absolutely need to be looking at. That is something that Austin already showed they can play in a low block and counter against us. I was there. You can hashtag blame Scarf on this one. I was there June 19th at Q2 Stadium in Austin when they went up 1-0 in the 19th minute against us. Sebastian Driussi, the pass to Obrian. Obrian had all the space in the world. Nobody closed out on Obrian. And we go down 1-0. And if not for Kai Kamara's Landon Donovan tying goal in the 90th minute, we lose that game. Instead, it's 1-1. And it was our only draw in like 12 matches. It should have been a 12-match win streak had we won that. But since I showed up to Austin, they decided to tie just for me. Thanks, boys. Either way, we already know they are going to sit in a low block. They are going to counter. Expect something like a 4-4-2. Expect 8 men back every single time, maybe even with a player like Sebastian Driussi or Obrian tracking back to help defend as well, to have as many as 9 men in the box. So they are going to let us have the ball. They are going to let us possess and let us pass. It's just a matter of what we can do with it. Again, against Pumas and Monterrey, 9 total shots on target out of 11 total shots. That is efficiency. And doing it with only 26% and 25% of the possession is pretty impressive. So this is not a pushover Austin team. This is not the Austin club of last year. This looks a lot more like the Austin club of 2 years ago, where we had to go and beat them after they came in and beat us. So this is going to be a really interesting matchup. That being the case, let's get in to my players to watch. And yeah, Genuine Cougar, first of all, I agree. We got to get the big boys out here. We should be starting Hugo Lloris. Hugo Lloris will have plenty of rest. But my players to watch, look, if you want this slide to say Denis Bouanga and Sebastian Driussi, then you can watch the Apple TV guys. The Apple TV guys will tell you who the biggest names are because they're trying to get fresh eyes onto the sport. So they want to pick the superstars. You know me. What I try to do is go underneath the numbers a little bit. Who are those players that'll be an intriguing storyline to watch during the match other than the big boys? And for me, 120 goals in all competitions while in MLS, 14 more in 68 appearances with the U.S. men's national team from right down the road from where I am sitting right now, and my first ever favorite player in MLS. That's right. Gyasi Zardes was my boy from Hawthorne, California. I grew up in Torrance and Lawndale. So he was a South Bay kid. He went to Lusinger High School right down the street from where I live right now. Same high school that Russell Westbrook went to, by the way. Just one of those things that I grew up. And yeah, I watched a lot of Galaxy games. I have no problem saying I watched a lot of Galaxy games. Guys, before 2018 in Southern California, there were no MLS options other than Carson. So I watched a lot of games, and I absolutely fell in love with this Gyasi Zardes guy. Never owned a kit, never bought anything with that Galaxy badge on it. That's for damn sure. But I did watch a lot of Gyasi Zardes, and I love Gyasi Zardes. And he scored in that match against Pumas. He scored the second goal of the match to put them up 2-0. They were still down a man when he scored. But again, one of the all-time great scorers in Major League Soccer. He is currently 10th right now with, I believe, 106 goals in Major League Soccer, 120 in all competitions while in MLS. And again, 68 caps with the U.S. men's national team, 14 goals. Love me some Gyasi Zardes. That being said, of course, I have to pick, look, everyone's favorite player, Kai Kamara. Love me some Kai Kamara, 166 goals in all competitions while in MLS, 7 goals in his 39 caps for Sierra Leone. I love me some Kai Kamara, and we saw how Kai Kamara, with a good pass, can make something out of absolutely nothing in our last match. We were dead in the water. And all of a sudden, the header from Kai Kamara gives us new life. Matty Bogusz gets another one for us late. And just like that, we have the point we need. We're playing in this match tomorrow. So that being said, I feel like Kai Kamara is the X factor in this match for LAFC more than any other player because he has the opportunity to create out of absolutely nothing. We're talking one good pass is all it takes to get on that beautiful dome of Kai Kamara and put it in the back of the net for yet another Leagues Cup goal. So I'm going to go with Gyasi Zardes and Kai Kamara. My keys to the match, look, first and foremost, we just talked about a club that wanted the ball 26% and 25% of the time in their last two Leagues Cup matches. If they continue to allow clubs 75% possession over the course of 90 minutes, it has to come back to haunt them. And in my opinion, it will come back to haunt them against LAFC. The chat wants to know what I'm drinking. I was just told it's pineapple spindrift. Pineapple spindrift. So there you go. Pineapple spindrift. Since the chat wanted to know what I'm drinking. I still have this weird cough from COVID that I had like a week and a half ago, but I'm trying to keep it at bay as much as I possibly can as it comes right back as I talk about it. We have a club that is allowing 75% possession. Then we have to take what we're given. Keep the ball. Use the ball. That sounds like the dumbest thing ever for a soccer pundit to say. But if a club is going to give you the ball, then be efficient when you have it. Don't just pass it around the back. We've seen that when we played Carson twice already this season. The inefficient use of the ball when they are given it is what led to their downfall. Well, we need to be efficient with the ball. We need to be efficient with our chances because we know, like I just talked about with Austin, 9 shots on target and 11 total shots. They are being efficient with their chances. They are being efficient. So when we have the ball 75% of the time, are you kidding me? We need to know, we need to be efficient with our chances. We have to be. We have to be efficient with our chances. So when we have the ball, take what you're given. But that being said, if you go back and watch the Obrian goal that they scored against us to make it 1-0 when we went to Q2 Stadium, we didn't close out on Obrian. We allowed him to just keep going right through to the top of the box and take a beautiful shot and score a beautiful goal. I was in perfect position to watch that goal go right past Hugo Lloris. There was nothing he could do about it. It was a beautiful goal. But it was a beautiful goal because we didn't close out on space. And there weren't many other runners other than Obrian on that goal. So we need to close out space. We cannot give players like Gyasi Zardes, players like Daniel Pereira, players like Obrian, players like Sebastian Driussi. We cannot give them space near the top of our box. That's the bottom line. So we have to close out space and take what we're given. It's not that hard if they're going to give you the ball. So what do I think the final score will be? I think it's a wrap. I think the way that LAFC is playing right now, and especially the confidence that they showed to come back down 2-0 very, very late in that match, I think LAFC gets the momentum that they need. We get the push that we need. And while Olivier Giroud may not be out on that pitch tomorrow, I really don't think he will be. Again, I have been told he is not match fit. He needed about another week or so. But either way, we're going to see him on the Jumbotron. He may even be the honorary Falconer. I don't know. He might sit there alongside Ante Razov, Marc Dos Santos, and everybody else out there, Coach Enrique. He might decide to coach for this game. He might be down there on the bench for this game. But I don't think he's going to play. But that's not the momentum that we need. The momentum that we need will be the fact that Austin will be giving us the ball 75% of the time. The momentum that we need will be the fact that we have Denis Bouanga, we have Matty Bogusz, we have Kike Oliveira, we have everything we need up top. Sal just asked about my thoughts on Griezmann. Check out the very beginning of this episode as soon as we put it up on live. Check out everything at the beginning. I'm telling you right now, this club is ready to roll tomorrow against Austin, especially knowing we're going to be given the ball and given the opportunities to score off of what we want. We will not even need to use the counter tomorrow. We will be given the ball and we can create our own opportunities. We have to be mindful of the counter, obviously, because that's exactly what Austin wants to do. But we will be given all of the opportunities that we need. So 3-1 LAFC. Now, that being said, let's talk about what happens after we advance 3-1. There are two other matches in our quadrant. Carson at Seattle and Pumas at Vancouver. This is very, very exciting. Carson at Seattle and Pumas at Vancouver. Our little section of the woods has San Jose and Necaxa. So if LAFC gets past Austin, when LAFC gets past Austin, then we will play the winner of San Jose and Necaxa. And I'm not 100% sure how this all shakes out, but I'm pretty sure. I'll have to double check this. But I'm pretty sure that we host either way, but I'll have to double check that for the San Jose Necaxa match. Pretty sure we host either way. So we will get the winner of San Jose and Necaxa in the round of 16. And again, Carson travels to Seattle. To play on the turf at Lumen. And Pumas travels to Vancouver to play on the turf at BC Place. So it's some intriguing matchups. We know Carson. We know Seattle. We know Vancouver. We will do a whole getting to know you on Pumas if we play Pumas. That'll be exciting. We will do a whole getting to know you on Necaxa if we play Necaxa in the round of 16. So that's the bottom line for what happens after we win against Austin 3-1, like I said. Ruben, you're asking about if COVID is gone. COVID has been gone for about a week. The cough that I had is not gone yet. I'm somehow not coughing through this entire episode, which is great. And Sal, waiting for an update on Timothy Tillman. LAFC has not put out, and I'll double check right here again, just to make sure that LAFC has not put out the availability of the match. And I don't see it on here either. Just double checked. So I don't know the update on Timothy Tillman yet, but I'll check after and we'll try and put an update up. But yeah, Necaxa, maybe that means Eva Longoria comes to the stadium. That would be wonderful. Austin, that might mean that we'll see Matthew McConaughey at the stadium, although he's kind of been a weird absentee owner in this last year or so. Haven't seen much about Matthew McConaughey. Listen to my boy Ruben Rios here in the chat. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out on this solo scarf endeavor. And again, if you want to hear my thoughts on Olivier Giroud, if you want to hear my thoughts on Lewis O'Brien, and if you want to hear my thoughts on Antoine Griezmann, make sure you check out the beginning of this One More Sleep. Other than that, y'all, thank you so much in the chat. We love you guys. Really appreciate it. Oh, someone asked me who I think is scoring in this 3-1 matchup. I think Denis Bouanga gets 2. I think Denis Bouanga announces his presence with authority, and I think that beautiful dome of Kai Kamara gets 1 as well. So that's how we get our 3. I'll give Sebastian Driussi 1 since he's so talented. Either way, you guys, thank you so much. We'll see you guys tomorrow at BMO Stadium. If you see me tomorrow, I might be in need of a hug. I'll be perfectly honest. Tomorrow is the 1-year anniversary of my dad passing. So I'll have Mama Scarf with me at the game, which will be pretty nice. Mom and I are going to spend the game together. We'll be in Founders Club. It is the 1-year anniversary of my dad. So I love all you guys so much, and I will see you guys all at BMO. You guys are the best. We'll see you guys soon.